Hi guys, 18 Dapper here, and finally Doncaster Rovers 2017-18 season review. I want to start this video saying a massive thank you to everybody who liked, commented or subscribed on any of the vlogs this season. The channel has grown in so quickly. It's not a huge channel. Last time I looked, about 281 subscribers, but from where I was at the start of the season, I'm lost for words. I just can't put into it. I just can't describe how chuffed I am with the feedback that the channel's getting, and that is all down to you guys, so thank you. It's crazy going to away games or home games and getting noticed. Love engaging with people who've taken the time to watch the videos as well. It means a lot, so a big thank you goes out to each and every single one of you. So, Rovers 2017-18 season review. Let's get this video started. So to start, I just want to review Doncaster Rovers' season in general. I tried to be as unbiased as possible in the vlogs. I know other supporters from other clubs watch them, and I just want to give an honest opinion of the game, but I'm red and white through and through. I've been a Rovers fan since I was 3, been a season ticket holder for quite some time, and Rovers just runs in the family. Go to the football, as you've seen in the videos, dad, brother, nephew, granddad used to go as well before he sadly passed, and it's just been a family thing every single weekend. So it means a lot. It's hard to watch games and see us not play well, or see us play well and get beat. I prefer that. Well, I don't mind those as much as playing poorly and getting beat. As long as we put some effort in, I'm happy. Regardless of the result, I think as Rovers fans we're used to bad results in recent times. But to start this review off, I want to just review the season in general and what happened. So I think just coming up from League 2, the way that last season ended, not a winning 5, finished 3rd in a 2-horse race. My expectation, I think it was similar to the club's, was survival. So building a squad that was good enough to stay in the league and stay in the league comfortably. I thought we could do that. I think that objective was completed by Fergie. I think he achieved that. But that run in at the end of the season, again, not scoring, not winning, it raises questions and concerns. And if Fergie's got what it takes to kind of rile the players up when there's nothing to play for. I mean, the season before, objective, getting back into League 1, looked like we achieved that at home to Mansfield, and then didn't win a game after that. And I think if the objective was to become champions of League 2, potentially we'd have got that extra point or 3 that we needed. This season, not mathematically safe, but there were a lot of teams below us playing each other. So I think overall we were safe before we started playing so poorly. But yeah, last 3 seasons we have not ended well at all, and it's not a nice way to end the season. I mean, 3 seasons ago got relegated. Last season we still got promoted, but it didn't feel like a promotion last year, and then this season it's just fizzled out. It's quite nice to get to the end of a season and not be panicking about going up or going down, where we're going to finish. But it just fizzled out, and it was a shame. But yeah, the season in general I think was a successful season because we achieved the objective that was set out at the start, and that was to survive in the league comfortably, and hopefully we can build on for next season. I'd like to go through some of the key players of the season, but I don't want to go through every player in the squad. I had a look. We've got last game against Wigan. Yeah, last game against Wigan's programme, and you look at our squad list and it is absolutely huge. Goes down to number 39. Don't know if there's any numbers missing, but yeah, 39 players. So I will not be going through every single player, because if I did, this video would be about an hour long, and I don't want to do that. So I've got to start with a legend that is Cops. What can I say that hasn't already been said about this guy? 574 appearances for Donny. You don't get many players in world football who have stayed with one club. Just signed his 15th season at Donny, and for me, he's one of those players that I remember from when I was younger, and I see my nephew now just wants to be Cops, and he's just an absolute club legend. I think he's in kind of the same league as what Gerrard is for Liverpool, Lampard for Chelsea, things like that. But this season, he's had another season where he's shown that he's still got class, but the legs starting to go. He changes games, but he can't do the full 90, and that concerns me, because who have we got to take his place? And I can't think of anybody. Potentially Beasting, maybe. Had an half decent season, Beasting, when he was coming in. But yeah, very happy that Cops has signed another year deal, so we get to see him at least one more year. But I think this will be his last, unfortunately. Don't want to say it, because like I say, he's got that creativity that sometimes we're lacking, especially in the final third. He can deliver a ball like no one else. So yeah, Cops, fantastic season. Yeah, what a role model he is to any aspiring footballer. Stay with a club. Wherever you can, stay with a club, become a legend. So that's Cops. Next, got to be John Marquis. Another great season, very good season last season in League Two, but this season got some grief off a lot of people, including myself. I give it him on occasions, but his work rate is absolutely phenomenal. All season he has worked his socks off, and I think that could have contributed to him not scoring as many goals as people thought he would. But 14 goals is not bad from jumping up a division. So I think we'll do well to keep him this summer. I hope we do, because we desperately need somebody who can find the back of the net next season. But I think he does need a strike partner who can help him with that. On to Tommy Rowe, Matty Blair. For me, these two, they're at the best when they're attacking. And for some reason, we play them at wing backs. Sometimes not even wing backs, just right back and left back. And we stick 5 in front of them in midfield. But on the day this season, when they're in right position, they show that they can terrorise defences and terrorise midfielders as well when they're going forward. So hopefully in the summer, the budget doesn't look too good. We'll get into that in a bit. But hopefully we've got enough to get a right back and a left back. Although Danny Andrew will be back. So yeah, somebody to back in case he gets injured again. Somebody as backup. And a decent right back, so that we can utilise Tommy Rowe and Matty Blair where they should be. Next, Jordan Orton, Ben Whiteman. So I feel both of these had fairly average seasons. Don't get me wrong, some games they were really good, but I just think overall just bang average from them two. I expected a lot more from Horton. I don't know if the injury impacted his confidence. I think on a lot of occasions he kind of bottled out challenges, and I'd probably do the same if I'd had a bad injury. But if you're not going to be fully committed, then don't play. It's harsh to say, but I think we're missing kind of a Ravenhill or Keegan type of midfielder who's not scared of getting in, getting the odd yellow card here or there. But I think having a midfielder, a solid centre midfielder like Ravenhill or Keegan were to play alongside Whiteman or Orton, then I think we'd see the better side of their play come out. They're a lot more creative than I think they showed this season. But we just need that hard midfielder just to help them out. Next couple of players, Butler and Anderson. Anderson signed I think he was the first signing this summer, and I think Butler and Anderson will make a solid centre-back pairing. They looked really good towards the end of the season. I think for League One, can't grumble. I think we'll be okay with them too. Especially with Joe Wright as backup. I do think we need another centre-back though. Keep on coming back to the budget. I'm saying we need this, that and other. I don't think we've got enough for it. So I think Fergie's got a job on this summer to build a squad that's got depth, and I think that's where we're going to probably slip up next season. I think we're going to have a really good starting 11, but when it comes to depth, if there's any injuries or anything like that, I think that's where we're going to struggle. Next group of players, I'm going to focus on Joe Wright, Marco Morosi, Ian Lawler, Rodney Congolo and Alfie Beeston. So I've grouped all of these together because I feel that they had similar seasons. I think they had some great games and I think they had some not so great games. But one thing that they've all got in common is I think they've got a lot of potential. I think we've got a group of players there that we could build a team around and they're going to grow into it. They need a couple of older footballers around them to help them out with the likes of Cops, maybe a couple of slightly younger than Cops, like early 30s, not late 30s. But yeah, a couple of players with the footballing knowledge around them to kind of help them grow and help them improve in the game. I think we've got 5 players there with a lot of potential. Next up, Danny Andrew. Mentioned him earlier. I'm looking forward to seeing him next season. He started really, really well. Just massive shame that injury killed off his season. But I do think we need another left back just in case that happens again. I mean, I'll come on to Niall Mason in a little bit. But yeah, Danny Andrew looked really looked class act at the start of the season. So unfortunately that he got injured. I think we could have seen ourselves in a lot better position towards the end of the season if he'd have been in the squad all the way through. And having said that, the injuries near Christmas, 3 centre backs going out all in quick succession, I think that had a detrimental effect. I think it impacted our momentum. Looked like we were doing really well and we were close to playoffs. Everybody was expectations started we were looking up rather than looking down, and then a couple of injuries and out, a season can change in a couple of games, don't we know it? So yeah, Danny Andrew, shame he got injured. Looking forward to seeing him next season. Alex Kawomya. So I've left this guy on his own. Start of the season, he were kind of put on a little bit of a pedestal. He was going to be this all singing, all dancing, top quality player, and I hope he shows this next season. But for me, this season, I think he looked quite weak. I think he looked lazy. I know he had the injury which kept him out for the majority of the season, so it could have been match fitness that was letting him down. But I just didn't see a great deal from him, and it's a shame because I was expecting quite a lot from him from what was said at the start of the season. But hopefully a good pre-season in him this year, and no injury keeping him out should hopefully show us the best Alex Kawomya we will see. And I mentioned him, just Niall Mason, for me, best player at year. I know some people might disagree with that, but this is all my opinions. Yeah, unreal. I think he's one of our most versatile players. We can put him anywhere, and he gives a pretty consistent performance as well. I think that's the type of player we need, especially with injuries we always get. Somebody, his natural position, centre midfielder, don't think I've ever seen him play there for Donny. So playing at right back, playing at left back, I think he's played at centre back. And like I say, consistent performances all season. I'd be surprised to see him at Donny next season. I think if any other clubs in League One or the Championship are looking for somebody with that skill to play in a number of different positions, Niall Mason is your man. But I hope to see him in a Donny shirt next year, because he would leave a very big gap in our squad. So on to the last bit of the video. End of the season, the budget got released, and by the sounds of it, it's not too good. But personally, I think Fergie's done the right thing in releasing the players that he has. Social media were in uproar when we saw that Matty Bowdery had gone. Bowdery, one of the best ball playing centre backs, one of the best footballing defenders in league, and we've let him go. But I think it's the right decision. He's one of those players who he played how many games? He played 19 games in a 46 game season in the league. He had a couple of FA Cup run-outs as well. For me, I'm guessing Bowdery is one of our top earners. To only get 21 games out of him as a top earner, it doesn't make sense for a club our size, especially in League One. Same with Williams. Got his stats down here. 3 games. Yeah, 3 games in the league, 6 altogether. Another one of his top earners. So I think Fergie's looked at how injury prone they are. At 2.5, a fairly standard footballer who puts effort in and who's going to be there a lot more of the season than a player who's got the class that Williams or Bowdery have got, but only there for half of the season. I think it's about having a squad with depth next season. So I think Fergie's done the right thing in releasing the players that he has done. Shame to see him go, don't get me wrong, but I think it'll kind of point the club in the right direction. I think for Donny, we do have to take into account financial fair play. While ever we're in League One, we're going to get gates that are 6,000 to 7,000, and it just limits how much we can spend, and it's a bit of a catch-22. To get people through the door or through the turnstiles, they want to see decent footballers playing. But to get decent footballers, you need to have the gates, and you need to have the income coming into the club so that you can spend within your means. We just don't have that. We get 6,000 to 7,000 weekly. For us to kind of put more money into the club, we need to be in Championship, but we need to get there within his means. It's going to be difficult, but I think Fergie is the man to take us there. I think quite a few people disagree with that, but based on what he did at Peterborough, he signed a young guy, Max Watson, I believe his name is, and looking at kind of some of the articles which have come out since we've signed him, a promising youngster from non-league, and if Fergie can pick up promising youngsters like he did at Peterborough, sell them on, or potentially keep them and build a squad, then for me we've got to give him the chance. And thinking about it, who is there out there to do a better job? I can't think of anybody. So for me, Fergie's the man to take Donny forward. I think we're in quite a good position to do that. So wrapping this video up, season review. I think we achieved his objective. We wanted to stay in the league. We've just come up. We've consolidated in the league. No real dramas at the end of the season apart from not winning, but we were well clear of the drop. I think next season we should be looking to improve on his position. Do I think playoffs is achievable? I do. I do think it is achievable, but I think realistic target, I think we should be looking at just improving our league position and the amount of points that we finish on. It's a shame to lose Rotherham. They've gone into Championship, but we will see them again next year, either as we're passing them or we'll be back in the same division, because no two ways about it, they're coming back down. But it's nice because we've got Barnsley to look forward to and Sunderland. Going to be a couple of good away games. And congratulations to Coventry for coming up through the playoffs as well. So we've got some good away games next year. Looking forward to it. If you've enjoyed this video, big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and comments in the section down below. Let me know if you agree with the stuff that I've said. If you don't agree, pop your opinion forward. Let's have a chat. I enjoy it. I enjoy, like I said at the start of the video, I enjoy engaging with everybody who takes the time to watch these videos. So thanks again for all of the support. I'm looking forward to a very good 2018-29 season, hopefully. See you in the next one. If you've made it this far to the video, thank you very much. It's about a good 20-22 minutes in there. I recorded the season review on 1st of June. Fergie was still with us at that point, so as you've been listening, you'll have heard me mention that I think Fergie was the man to take us forward, and I believe that. I did. I thought that he had the ability to find players fairly cheap, like he did at Peterborough. Look in the non-league and find gems, but unfortunately, meetings with the board last week led to Fergie resigning Tuesday night, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Tuesday night. The video was scheduled to be uploaded on Wednesday, so I stopped that. And I was going to record another one, but I think the majority of the content in there I'd have just been repeating anyway. So I figured I'll put a little bit on the end. So got a couple of notes. I'm going to start with Cops. Could he be the future manager? Fergie's gone. Is this an opportunity? Like I said earlier in the video, he's getting on, struggles to get 90 minutes under his belt, and I get that. I think he fits the bill. He cares for the club. He wants us to be in the Championship. He believes that we can be in Championship. Could he be the man? I don't know if he's done his coaching badges or anything like that. But could he work alongside somebody else? I mean, a couple of the names I've got down here. Stuart McCall. He's odds-on favourite to take over from Fergie. I think he could give a different direction and playing style to what we had last season. I think Stuart McCall would probably be a good shout. I'd be quite happy with that. I was surprised that Fergie went, I must say that, but apparently they've had talks about the budget. The budget is the same this season as what it was last, but with the likes of Barnsley, Burton, Sunderland coming down, Luton, Coventry coming up, we've still got Pompey, Charlton in the league. I mean, that's what, 7 teams there that I think will potentially have a bigger budget than what we've got. It's going to be hard to break into the top 6. Like I said in the video though, we've got to be careful with financial fair play. We can only put into the club what we get, and stories this week about Aston Villa pumping money into the club and then putting all their eggs in one basket, expecting to go up and not going up, and then now they're in a bit of financial hot water. Could be starting in administration, points deducted. Me personally, I love Donny Rovers and I want Donny Rovers to exist, and obviously I'd love to see us up in the Championship again. And 2008 I think it was, no, maybe, correct me in the comments, it might be 2010 where we're close, pushing on playoffs to in the Championship around Christmas, and then it all went wrong. But I'd love to be back there, but I think we've got to be realistic. We're not a massive club and we've got to live within his means, and I think fighting for promotion is I think it's realistic. It's a realistic target. I mean, other managers banded about. Neil Redfern, it makes sense. He's managing the Bells at the minute. Do I think he'd be right for the role? No. In all honesty, I don't think he would. Same as Grayson and Heckingbottom. For me, I wouldn't like to see any one of those three take charge. Generally, I don't like the style of play. I don't like the tactics that they put forward. I think Stuart McCall probably the best shout. Another thing that I forgot to mention in the season review, biggest game in a long time. We went away to Emirates, didn't we? So I kind of focused on the league during the video, but I think I've got to say it before I wrap it up for a second time. What a night out that was. Well, a day out, and I'd love to see us get a tie like that in the FA Cup, or the League Cup again. Love to see us get through to the later stages. I still love cup games, night games. They're brilliant. Just really enjoy them. And that Arsenal game, I think we played really well from back to front. For them to only beat us 1-0, showed how good we played on the night. So yeah, wrap it up a second time. Thanks for watching. Been about 25-30 minutes now. Once again, thanks for all the support, thanks for the likes, comments in the section down below. I think this video might start a few conversations going. And if you haven't already subscribed, click that subscribe button and then you won't miss any of the vlogs next season. And I will see you in the next one.